everyone. Nice to see you here today. So first of all, I want to know who knows a bit about micronation here. Nice, okay. So today we're going to talk about DAO and micronations. So this is like a projection in the future because for the moment we don't have that much examples, but I have some for you and I think that maybe you heard about it. To present myself quickly, I'm a senior digital project manager and my background is UX designers. So my job is to understand trends and see how it can change the way we interact with each other and how tech innovation changes the way we do in the world. So, do you think the world is ready for a transparent and equitable participatory sovereignty? Because I don't think so. The problem is today that in the best democracy, sovereignty has to represent the people, and that's not the case. But we are now in a new era with tech innovation because our uses are changing, and I think that with the next generation, we can change the world for the better. So the problem we have today is that people vote for representatives but don't feel heard. And then they vote by default because they were previously disappointed. And this lack of people commitment is in danger for a democracy. And that's why micronations is an interesting subject. Because if you work in the tech, you know that tech innovation is a political subject. So, to prepare this speech, I asked my colleague this single question. Do you think a sovereign nation state could ever establish a decentralized political system that gives direct power to its citizens? And no one believed it's possible because we had 26 answers for impossible, 5 for perhaps, and 2 for possible. So that's not very encouraging. But I don't forget that there is no revolution without dreamers. And thanks to Bitcoin, we decentralized the financial system, thanks to cryptography. And now, today, I think that thanks to smart contracts and Ethereum, we are on the verge of decentralizing all kinds of powers, economic, political, and organizational. So I think that this cutting-edge topic is an overturned window for the future of democracy. No one believes it, but I think that we are strange people here. We are a strange community, and I think that we can change the world and we can onboard the next generations to do it. For the moment, micronations is really something very small in the political ecosystem, but also in the tech ecosystem, because there is no official recognition and there is a very limited adoption. So we have to build everything from scratch. That means we are prototyping new model of governance, and we are going to fail a lot before having a really great success. So, why do I believe that one day we're going to have something really equal in the way we manage states? I mean, a sovereign nation state. Because the future is multidimensional and global. I mean, today we have different ways to live. We live in the real life, but also online, and with the reality, the mixed reality, we're going to live in real life and online, and with the metaverse, we can have both online and in physics. I mean, we're going to have new way of using our time and new way to interact with each other. And I don't think about us, I think about The next generations, I mean the generation that is born in a world with AI, with cryptography, with internet, and don't know that there was a life before this multi-universe. And this kind of people, these new generations, they know how to find information, they will be educated, and they will want to have some equality and some power in the community they are going to live in. So, micronation is a small-scale experience because the future is everywhere, and micronation don't need a physical territory. That means we're going to have micronations on the metaverse. Like today, we have some micronations online, and we also have micronations in the real life. So micronations is a community that want to take decisions collaboratively and have some sort of equality. How do I came to this topic? I came to this topic because my dear friend and mentor, Nicolas Bermond, called me one day and said, "You know what? I now own an island. Go on your map and search for Île Bermond, and you're going to find my territory near Marseille." And I did it, and I said, "Unbelievable, how did you get that?" And he said, "I hacked the system. I just claimed to Google and Apple that this is my territory, and they named it on the map." And he said, "I did this because I want to build a micronation in tribute to my revolutionary ancestor, and I want to build a community of visionary people, creative people, and find a new way to govern together." So he created all his branding, and then he writes a page in MicroWiki to onboard people. He explained his projects, and he began to build his community. He also wrote a manifesto, and I just want to highlight this single sentence. "We think that it's necessary to disregard the past to build the future." And I think he's right. For the moment, the community is in real life, and there's no DAO for the moment, because to build a strong micronation, you need to have a strong community with the same value. And to find this community, we began to organize workshops to know what is the feeling of the people when we talk about government, politics, citizenships, and decentralization. And two questions often came. Why grant power to people untrained in governance or decision-making for the common good? And what about the Constitution? People don't believe in democracy, in the democracy of their state, but they don't believe in decentralization because they think that DAOs are chaos. But DAOs are not chaos, because you can organize your community with DAOs, you have values, you have rules, and everything is written in the smart contracts, and everything is transparent, and the community knows exactly what are the rules. And that's not the case in real life. In politics, nothing is transparent, and that's why we are disappointed. So we decided to organize events to explain what is DAOs and explain that DAOs is not chaos. Have you seen this movie, The Rose Island? Who have seen this movie? Yeah, great movie, right? So I think it's interesting because this movie is the true story of an island built off the coast of Italy. It's an artificial island of 400 square meters built by an Italian engineer after the World War II. And it's interesting because it was just after the war, and after the war, people wanted a new way of lifestyle. And this artificial platform was built to have a better life and to be independent from the state and the rules of the state. So the aim of this artificial platform was to reinvent the world after experiencing dictatorship. I mean fascism, Nazism, etc. And this artificial platform was an island with its own language, its own stamps, and had an economic activity. Because it was so strange that people around the world, when they came to Italy, they wanted to go to the platform to see if it was real. So it has a touristic economy, and that's really amazing. But as you know, when something when something works, the traditional way of governance try to destroy it. So the Italy government came to the platform and take the occupants out of the platform, and a few months later, the Navy exploded the platform. So what is interesting in this case is to show that when you have a micronation in real world, you need to defend your interest, and for this you have to have military means. But online, you have to have strong cybersecurity skills. So to defend yourself online, you have to onboard on your community people with strong cybersecurity skills to defend yourself from the outside. Do you know this project, Zutzalu? Who knows it? You're an expert in micronation.
I wish I went, but I didn't. Now I'm like following because it's so amazing.
Yeah, it sounds really amazing. It's a micronation experience co-created with Vitalik Buterin. And the aim of this micronation was to bring together experts in tech, AI, crypto, and biotechnology, and to build a strong community about human longevity and medical science. This community tried to make the human more powerful, and this is a real project. And this project was very successful. So, Zutzalu is not a DAO, but they made a partnership with VitaDAO. VitaDAO is a DAO founded in 2021, and it's a community of diverse team of researchers and science enthusiasts. And this DAO tried to found financing to develop science research and to make this science research results transparent, to encourage the community to build a real science around biotechnology and human longevity. And this had a great success, and in 2024 we had Vitalia City. Vitalia City is a real city in the real world, and the aim of Vitalia City is the same as Zutzalu and VitaDAO. So the community is growing around the same interest, the same values, and show that we can create micronation to change the world. The early adopter of DAOs in micronation was BitNation. Do you know BitNation? Yeah, it's very popular. So BitNation is not active today, but in 2014, BitNation was like a platform to help communities to build their own governance. And BitNation helped lots of unbanked and unstated people with digital ideas and wallet to make people that are out of the system in a sort of community that can help them to be recognized by the world. The other example that you probably know is Liberland. Do you know Liberland? Yeah? Yeah. Liberland is also a micronation, and Liberland is still active today, and it was built in 2015, and Vit Jidlika found a territory that was unclaimed. It was a territory between Croatia and Serbia, and no one claimed it. So he said, I want it. And he said, this is my territory, and this is the territory of Liberland. But now that he said that, Croatia, I think it's Croatia, Croatia said, no, that's not your territory. So they tried to go there and to live there, but they were put outside, of course. But the territory exists, and the fact that there's something physical, it makes the community more real. So Liberland today has a DAO, but between the creation of the micronation and the DAO, there was some years between the two. Because first you build the community around values, and then you build the DAO to organize the governance. And today, the Liberland has its DAO, its own citizenship token, and they can organize themselves to build economical project, and to encourage the community to build something strong. And maybe one day they're going to have this real territory and to build maybe a little village, because it's a little territory of 7 square kilometers. I think you can build a little village inside. And just for the wink, I went to Reddit and I found this message in 2016. It's someone said, let's buy an island, DAO for Ethereum micronation. So the fact that people want to organize themselves is not something new. And between the first experiment and the fact that it's going to be popular and it's going to be something we're gonna see without being surprised, we need time. And I really do think that the future is a future of decentralization, because people are autonomous and want more freedom and more democracy and more transparency. So experimentation is cool, but be aware of scams. Like usual, Dior and WAGMI. So if you have questions, maybe I can answer it. Yeah?
Sorry.
Should I? Oh, yes, thank you.
Do you think it's easier to like? Okay, sorry. So would it be easier to like do micronations and then like go for I don't know, physical stuff, or do you think it would be easier to like target some nations that would be likely to be okay politically with like giving some sovereignty away and like doing it there? Like I don't know, like the guys from Vita DAO, they put up a list of like territories where they could likely do their micronations and stuff, and they were like, hey, maybe we should like recruit some people to talk with the politicians and like pitch this thing like economically and like do the thing. So yeah, what's your take? Like digitally and then physically, or like physically, politically, and then yeah, have a military to defend it with?
I think that there is not a good way to do it. It depends on your means, and it depends on your goals. And I think that Vita DAO already had means and already had a very strong community and a very strong project. And I do think they want to be recognized by the international community. So it's important for them to have a real territory to bring the community. But the goal of each micronation is different. When you are experimenting, you don't have the time to find the real territory, and I think that the aim of experimenting something is to be ready to fail, because this is really something special made by maybe strange people see from the outside, I mean. And it depends really on what you want to do with it. But for example, BitNation didn't need a real territory because they wanted to help unbanked and people really excluded from the real world. So it really depends, but I think that building a strong community from the start is really the key. And after that, you can find everything. And to be recognized by the international community, you need to compromise and to negotiate with the authorities. And I think that Vita City want to do that because they really have a project that will change the world for real. And they have intellectuals, they have scientists, etc. So this is really like the elite of the world, I would say, intellectually.
Thank you.
But you're an expert, I saw it. Is there another question?
Yeah, so thank you for your presentation. I have two questions, if possible. There's one I always ask when I go to this kind of talks. I'm curious, how do you draw the line, or how do you prevent this kind of experiments to turn into cults, for example?
To cult, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that micronation is not something about philosophy or religion, for example. A micronation has project around real values, and it's more like the research of freedom and of experimentation. But people are independent from one another, and they are just collaborating in transparency to build something. I think that a micronation has a vision of the world, but there is no how to say that, question about religion or philosophy or something a little bit weird. I mean, this is really concrete. This is a community about a vision of the world that want to experiment governance and to be transparent about the decision making.
Okay, thank you. And then my other question is, why did you decide to use the word micronation compared to other options like network state, for example?
Because the word used in this community is micronation, because it works like a nation, but it's not recognized by the international community. But the aim of micronation is to work like a nation, to represent the people of the community, to find a model of governance, and to do something together. So a micronation is a symbol of a nation that is not recognized by the international community, but that want to experiment.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.